Tonight, a massive blaze at a restaurant in Grand Marais. We're live on the scene with the latest details.
And St. Louis County leaders have identified a way to help the area's homeless population, but there's still some red tape to get through.
Plus, Wisconsin's governor says the curve is flattening in the state. This as Minnesota's governor is extending the state's peacetime emergency.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with continuing coverage in Grand Marais, where volunteer firefighters spent the afternoon battling a blaze that ripped through 3 businesses on the city's waterfront.
The fire broke out at about 1:30 this afternoon at the Crooked Spoon Cafe in downtown Grand Marais. It then spread to 2 adjacent businesses before crews were able to extinguish the flames. CBS3's Natalie Grant joins us live from the scene now. And Natalie, we understand the fire is out. Can you walk us through how that scene has changed over the last hour or so?
Yeah, Tony and Kristen, as you can see behind me, it is a pretty devastating scene here tonight. As you said, the flames are out as of now, but crews are working to pick up the pieces a little bit as they're still demolishing those businesses and putting out smoke. Now, there is quite a bit of smoke that is still coming off of these structures here. I'll step out of the way so you can get a better look at what we are looking at here. Volunteer fire crews have been fighting this fire since it started at the Crooked Spoon Cafe at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Now, as we said, that fire is now extinguished. We have learned that no one was hurt within this incident, but we do not have a cause of what started it as of now or exactly how much damage this will cost. But as you can see, that it seems that all the cafe and those 2 other businesses, Picnic and Pine and White Pine North, are destroyed. Other businesses that are connected to the Crooked Spoon may have also been damaged in this fire. We spoke with the owner of White Pine North, one of those businesses, a gift shop, and it talked about his devastating loss.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. I mean, just last week I was joking with my friend who owns a business and saying this whole pandemic was not in our business plan. We purchased it January 1st, 2020. And this week we're saying a fire is not in our business plan, and it's just kind of crazy, but we'll get through it and we'll rebuild and it'll be awesome.
Now, right now, we are, like as we said, the fire has been extinguished, although it is still producing heavy smoke, and crews are on scene tackling that. They also did mention in a press release earlier that the heavy breezes that they're feeling in this downtown area today did play a part in having the fire difficult to contain. We will continue to bring you the latest as we learn more information on what the cause of this fire was this afternoon.
Yeah, certainly a devastating day for folks in Grand Marais today. Thanks, Natalie.
New at 6, a tragic update to a house fire last week in Duluth's Lincoln Park neighborhood. One of the 2 people hurt in the early morning hours of the April 5th fire has died. Authorities say Janice Smith was taken to Essentia Health. The 74-year-old later died at the hospital. Her official cause of death is still pending. A 67-year-old man was also injured at the fire. He has since been released from the hospital. Meanwhile, smoking is to blame for 2 Duluth house fires overnight. The first fire broke out around 1:15 this morning at a duplex near Bristol Street and North 59th Avenue West in the Spirit Valley neighborhood. All 5 residents got out safely, and firefighters rescued 2 cats, but 1 is still missing. Damage is estimated around $100,000. While firefighters were still fighting that fire, they were called to an apartment building at 16th Avenue East and East 3rd Street in the Indian neighborhood. None of the residents were hurt. Damage was estimated at $2,000 there. Again, fire officials say both fires were started by smoking. They remind residents to make sure your cigarettes or tobacco products are completely put out before throwing away.
Cleveland-Cliffs announced it will lay off an estimated 470 employees from its North Shore mining operation in northern Minnesota. Company officials said due to poor market conditions in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, they will be temporarily idling production at 2 iron ore mining operations. That includes North Shore Mining in Silver Bay and the Tilden Mine in Michigan. The company stated that unless business circumstances change, it plans to temporarily idle production at North Shore Mine by mid-April, with a planned restart by August of this year. North Shore Mine employs 570 people. This is a developing story. Stay with CBS3 for the latest. It's Severe Weather Awareness Week in Minnesota and Wisconsin. The goal is to make sure everyone has a plan when hail, flooding, or even extreme heat strike our region. We'll be sharing safety tips on our website, CBS3Duluth.com, every day this week. With that said, let's check in with Dave Anderson for a quick look at the weather. Dave, ooh, it looks pretty cold where you are.
Yeah, another snow squall has settled into the northern neighborhoods of Duluth here, but is really nothing compared to what folks in the snow belt got over the weekend. So severe weather week indeed, and we had winter severe weather over the weekend, but for the week coming up, we're going to be talking about severe summer-style weather tips. And the one today, let's take a look at the chart that came in from our authority friends in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And they say this day for severe weather week, you need to be aware of what watch versus warning means. A watch means the conditions are right, but the weather's not happening yet. Friday, we had a winter storm watch. Then we had a winter storm warning on Sunday because the conditions we were watching out for were actually happening. Now, as the rest of the week unfolds, we'll unfold a tornado drill come Thursday. Let's now take a look at our day planner for our Tuesday. And the snow showers like I'm getting right now could be with us through tonight and through tomorrow as well, but finally wrap up towards a partly cloudy sky by supper time as higher pressure settles in. We'll talk more about it coming up in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. In some election news, we are now learning how Wisconsin voted during last week's primary. Joe Biden is the winner in the Democratic primary for the state. The race was called at about 4:45 this afternoon with about 14% of precincts reporting. At that time, Biden had about 65% of the vote, while runner-up Bernie Sanders was at about 29%. Meanwhile, we're still awaiting results from Wisconsin's Supreme Court election. Democrat Jill Karofsky is vying for the seat against conservative incumbent Daniel Kelly. There are no results for municipal races either. Stick with CBS3 throughout the evening for the latest election results. You can also find the results on our website, CBS3Duluth.com. And we're still waiting to find out exactly how many voters cast a ballot in person last week, but we do know there were about 4,000 completed absentee ballots for Superior. With the resignation of Congressman Sean Duffy in Wisconsin's 7th District, a special election will be held on May 12th. But with the confusion last week, many are wondering if that election will happen. CBS 3's John Cardinelli is live in Superior. He spoke to the city clerk earlier today about how they are going to prepare for this upcoming election. John, what did she have to say?
Tony, Terry Callan said at this point, everything is very unpredictable between how long the coronavirus will last and what lawmakers down in Wisconsin decide to do. Anything is a possibility, but she did say that if the coronavirus is still a concern, polling places will operate as they did last week. Callan said ballots for the special election started going out February 26 for anyone requesting one, and some are already coming back. For those that have not requested one, you still have time. Callan said if we're still in a stay-at-home order, polling locations will offer curbside voting and voting in office like last week. However, Callan is offering words of advice for those who are voting absentee.
With how things go down in Madison, they change all the time, daily, sometimes hourly. I would recommend that people that are going to vote by absentee do it early, so there's no question about it.
As for workers at polling places, Callan hopes they will be able to utilize those that helped last week since they understand the new procedures. However, the city is always looking for help at the polls. And as of now, the special election is still set for May 12th. However, there is word that Governor Tony Evers may try to delay it if a stay-at-home order is extended and still in place.
Yeah, still a lot to come on this one, and we'll be sure to keep tracking it. CBS 3's John Cardinelli live for us in Superior tonight. Thanks, John.
In Minnesota, Governor Tim Walz announced today he's extending the state's peacetime emergency declaration through May 13th. The declaration gives the governor special emergency powers like issuing the stay-home order. Walz spoke with other governors in our region, including Tony Evers and Gretchen Whitmer, to figure out how to restart the region's economy together. One key factor, expanding testing. He says knowing who is sick and isolating them is crucial to allowing people to start getting back to normal.
Those who want to open this economy, and all of us do, have to know the only way we do it, it has to be in conjunction with the best health advice, the best epidemiological evidence, and that right now is testing, tracing, and isolating.
The state is also anticipating budget shortfalls due to coronavirus. Today they announced a hiring freeze for all executive-level jobs. The governor and members of his cabinet are also taking a 10% pay cut for the rest of the year.
Meanwhile, Wisconsin's governor says the state is starting to see the curve flatten as it relates to COVID-19 cases. Democratic Governor Tony Evers cited the safer-at-home order as the reason. DHS Secretary-designee Andrea Palm says although the number of cases is still increasing, the state is seeing a decrease in the exponential growth. Evers said the state does need more testing. There are currently 23 labs testing for COVID-19 in the state, with the DHS working to expand testing efforts statewide. 2 self-isolation facilities have also been opened for those who have symptoms or who have tested positive.
There's new help available for Minnesota veterans struggling financially due to COVID-19. State lawmakers have approved a one-time grant of $1,000 per veteran. This would be awarded on a first-come, first-served basis. There are about $6 million worth of grants available. We have information on how to apply on our website. COVID-19 has hit some minority communities especially hard. Tonight, Duluth's NAACP branch is stepping up to help. They'll be handing out free face masks to those who are Black, Indigenous, or a person of color. You can pick one up from 6 to 7:30 tonight in the parking lot of Duluth's One Roof Community Center. They're also handing them out from 5 to 7 on Thursday at Duluth's Memorial Park. We'll hear from the community about what this effort means to them coming up tonight at 10.
Duluth and St. Louis County leaders have found space to house those who were most at risk during the COVID-19 pandemic. Tonight, the Duluth City Council will vote on spending up to $67,000 to buy hotel rooms at the downtown Duluth Inn. City and county leaders say 45 rooms will be open to those who are homeless, even if they do not have any symptoms. They hope it will help lower the number of people using Chum's homeless shelter. If approved tonight, the rooms will be available through May 5th, but that could be extended if needed. Chum will help provide food. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, sharing music and keeping traditions alive. That's what one Iron Range organist is doing as she takes her music online.
And Dave is in with your full forecast after the break.
At Schwabel Getz & Sieben, our most important value is our commitment to our clients.
I chose Schwabel Getz & Sieben because from the start I could tell that they cared about me.
After my initial conversation with Jim, I was immediately at ease. I knew that I was going to be in great hands.
They took the worry off my shoulders.
They listened to me, and I knew that I could trust them.
Representing accident victims for over 40 years, Schwabel Getz & Sieben.
Fantastic firm, fantastic people. They stood behind me 100%.
Spectrum Mobile is a better way to mobile. First, we deliver the fastest overall speeds and the most reliable mobile service, coast to coast. Now, we're bringing you 5G, and it's only going to get better. We're extending our network every day so we can offer you the best experience. That means faster speeds, so you can do whatever you want, wherever you are. 5G is here. Spectrum Mobile.
At Papa Murphy's, we knead seriously, chop seriously, and shred seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays, even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
If you're over mac and cheese and PB&Js, have we got good news for you? Right now, get Pizza Hut's best delivery deal. Large pizzas with up to 3 toppings for just $9.99. Available for carryout or contactless delivery at pizzahut.com.
Come Monday night, I'll be saying the weekend was way, way too short. And the work week is going to be a long one.
I'm so tired, I'm going to cry.
And cry like a girl. What I need is an hour of laughs.
He's my friend. Best friend. Okay, slow down a little bit there.
It's a full hour of funny. A new neighborhood, followed by a new Bob Hearts Abishola. Tonight, starting at 8/7 Central on CBS.
CBS 3 is going live at 5, focusing on bringing you hyper-local news and weather. Getting the stories that impact your community the most, right down to your neighborhood.
130-year-old.
We're live outside the Husky Refinery.
The city of Duluth is getting a new hockey rink.
A new convention center is coming to Virginia.
Special ed here in Finland welcomes the mushers from
CBS 3, live at 5. When you watched CBS3 Live at 5, you saw the news and weather of the day that affected you most.
Essentia took action.
Elected officials are encouraging everyone to vote.
Race course up the North Shore.
You received a live, local look at what was happening around you, your family, and your
The
neighbors.
city of Hayward competing
Or the Red Cliff Band in Wisconsin.
crafters in Gilbert to a sewing factory.
For stories that are focused on the communities you live and work in, right down to your neighborhood. Continue watching CBS3 Live at 5, weekdays at 5 on Live Local CBS3. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Current temperatures in the upper 20s, and there's a fresh dusting of snow on the ground. You'd think this was November, but no, it is April. But nothing to really complain about here in the northern part of Duluth. Sure, there's a dusting of fresh snow on the ground, but they got much more than that in the snow belt. So let's take a look at some of the snow totals from yesterday and this morning's system that affected places from the Bayfield Peninsula through a good portion of the upper peninsula, including Ironwood. Well, we run from about 3.5 inches in Stanberry to 4.5 just to the west of Washburn, and Bayfield just a little bit inland, 7 inches. 16 though for the king of snow, Guile, taking the crown back again. Some towns in some of the last systems beat Guile, but not this time around. They got the crown once again, and hopefully it'll melt fairly soon. A lot of folks are hoping for spring to finally arrive. We're taking a little bit of a hiccup indeed from yesterday in through perhaps tomorrow afternoon. Whoa, the current picture there over the hill shows it's very foggy towards National Weather Service Duluth and that neck of the woods. 25 degrees is the current temp at the airport, 69% the relative humidity, northwest winds going 10 miles per hour, and our air pressure is a little bit low right now at 29.95 inches of mercury. It's on the lower side because of that big Colorado low that lurched through just about the entire middle and eastern parts of the country. Relatively gentle for many of us over the weekend, but packing more of a punch for the upper peninsula, of course, and then, of course, its cold front extending down into the deep south caused some Easter Sunday headaches for a lot of folks. Here in our neck of the woods right now, we're still seeing a few lingering snow showers like we're getting here in the Woodland neighborhood right now. And there's a 20% chance that'll continue tonight through tomorrow, but eventually wrap up tomorrow afternoon as higher pressure tries to take hold. So eyeing up the situation here for tomorrow, that trough extending off the big low will continue to bring us that slight snow chance, like I mentioned, through at least the noon hour tomorrow. But then higher pressure coming in from the northwest should start to clear us up and perhaps even try to warm us up once we get into our Wednesday. Forecast here tonight for folks in Minnesota. We're looking for low temps on the heels of this departing low pressure system to really drop. We're going to be looking at temps around 12 for northern Minnesota and maybe 22 right by the lake with that 20% chance of flurries. And that 20% chance of flurries will spill into Wisconsin and Michigan as well, where low temps there likely will run about 14 to 17, but at least it's above zero. For tomorrow in Wisconsin and Michigan, the daytime high temperatures probably only the low to mid 30s. That's cooler than normal, 20% flurry chance. Then afternoon sunshine is at least vaguely possible. And that's a similar forecast that folks in Minnesota will face there as well, with a range of high temps tomorrow in that neck of the woods going from about 30 to 35 degrees. Extended forecast shows a break eventually coming our way. It's going to be a pretty dry week ahead. Just a couple of slight shower and flurry chances like we mentioned, and increasing temperatures too. Sunny by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and back into the 50s by Saturday, even though that may be tempered and speckled a little bit with a couple of rain showers, Anthony and Kristen.
Yeah, the weather just can't seem to make up its mind today, Dave. Sunshine, snow, then more sunshine, then more snow. I don't know.
Yeah. The sun is right that way. It'll be here in about a minute.
We'll keep our eye out for it. Thanks, Dave. Well, that was the sound in the UP this morning as Ironwood, Michigan streets were blanketed with that snow that Dave was just talking about. The plows were out and about by about 6 o'clock, by 6, and by 7 this morning, Ironwood had already gotten a little over 8 inches of snow, causing some slippery roads and some extra work for residents. An employee at Forsland Building Supply says he didn't mind the extra white stuff as it means more business for them.
There's still snow and, salt and shovels, so anybody that can't find theirs or put it away, we'll see them today.
As Dave mentioned, some areas saw in excess of a foot of snow in the UP.
During a time of constant change and new normals, an Iron Range organist is sharing her traditional music in a non-traditional way. Vicki Gornick has been a church organist for 50 years. Although the churches she plays at are closed due to Minnesota's stay-at-home order, she did not want the music to stop. So for the first time in her long career, she took her talents online. And she said she never imagined the reactions she received.
And when I posted the first one, I got so many beautiful comments how they loved hearing, you know, some of the traditional music. So I've been encouraged to post more, and I have.
Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, we'll take you to the Iron Range town of Chisholm, where Gornick records her music in hopes of bringing some tradition back into people's lives.
Still to come on Live Local CBS3, carry out alcohol. Some Minnesota lawmakers want restaurants to start allowing that. We'll tell you why coming up.
The 2020 Yamaha XTR editions at RJ Sport and Cycle.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Upstream bridge. What's your distance there? Look on the black side.
5 meters is right here.
5? Just call it 5 meters then. Yep, 5 meters for length. All right. And which is how many centimeters?
500.
Excellent. Okay, good. Nope. Now let's go to the next page and let's go to your first assessment. Okay, and then now here's where this is called the habitat parameter.
Oh, that was satisfying.
Yeah.
You see the skies walk?
Oh,
oh, that's new.
What's that thing?
What's that thing? That's good. That's skinny. I don't know. Do you think these things are helpful?
Now we have to wait for
Our shower was like 20 years old and it was just in the worst condition. We had a new shower put in and it was acrylic and there's hardly any cleaning compared to the other one. We decided to call Bath Planet and Wayne did contact us and he made sure that it was a good time for us.
He came here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Job was done by 4 o'clock.
I'm so glad that we chose Bath Planet.
For a free estimate, call Bath Planet today at 218-228-0435.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
Hi, Minnesota. Governor Tim Walz here. During this unprecedented battle against the COVID-19 virus, I want to say how grateful I am for Minnesota's willingness to help one another. I also want to make sure that I say, continue to watch your local news stations. Local news and local newspapers are putting out facts and not fear, and that's what it's going to take to get through this together. If you need more information, please go to the Minnesota Department of Health website. Together, Minnesotans will defeat this and come out better on the other side. Thank you.
The coronavirus story continues to change, both around the world and here at home. We know you have questions and concerns. At Live Local CBS3, our focus is to keep you informed and up to date on the evolving COVID-19 virus story. We'll continue to talk to healthcare professionals to get the information you need to know. Focused on bringing you facts, not fear. That's our promise. We're Live Local CBS3. Local for a reason. Get your news on the go. The CBS3 mobile app.
New at 6, Minnesota state lawmakers want to allow restaurants to sell takeaway wine and beer to help save jobs. Today, Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman spoke about how they hope loosening liquor restrictions will preserve the state's restaurant industry. Senator Hoffman says they are asking Governor Walz to sign an executive order to permit bars and restaurants to use wine and beer to go. Hoffman says the executive order will allow businesses to use their sitting inventory to generate more revenue, keep the jobs that they have, and hire back some people that they've had to lay off.
This is another way that Minnesotans can help their local business partners and
favorite establishments. This is a responsible, temporary, and common sense way to show compassion and protect jobs and the economy. And we need to provide more of these types of relief to let entrepreneurial spirits flourish.
Customers would be able to purchase 2 bottles of wine or 12 cans of 12 ounces of beer with the food order. Policymakers around the world are debating when and how to start reopening businesses now that the spread of the coronavirus appears to be leveling off.
Duluth residents could soon be paying more on their utility bill. A Duluth City Council vote tonight could eventually mean an increase on your comfort systems bill. Your stormwater rate fee would go up 11% every year over the next 6 years. The additional money would fund a big upgrade to the city's stormwater system. If approved tonight, the Duluth Public Utilities Commission could go ahead with the public information meetings in June. There would also be a hearing in the fall. If everything is approved, the increase would go into effect in January.
Part of Decker Road near the Miller Hill Mall will be closed starting today. Crews will be working on utility systems and repaving the road. Traffic will be rerouted on Anderson, Haynes, and Maple Groves Road. The project will last through the summer.
A big part of the decision on when to scale back social distancing and other mitigation efforts has to do with knowing who is immune. That's why experts say an antibody test for coronavirus is critical. Laura Podesta has more.
Experts say tests that look for coronavirus antibodies in the blood are key in the fight against COVID-19. The blood test will show if you've had the coronavirus.
So about 50% of people, or up to 50% who have coronavirus, don't even know they have it. They have no symptoms. So it's critical that we get an accurate number of the people in the country who've actually been exposed or had to the virus, and it will tell us if they're immune, if they can't get it again and they can't spread it to others.
How long a person remains immune is still unknown because we're still learning about the coronavirus. But knowing who's immune through antibody testing could be part of the puzzle to getting the country up and running again.
This is going to be a certificate of immunity, if you will, where you can go back to work without worrying. You could be exposed to somebody with the virus and not worry about catching it. You can care for somebody with the virus and not catch it yourself. That's critically important when we do policy in the United States.
The FDA gave emergency use authorization to a new test for coronavirus antibodies last week. Several others are being developed and studied.
Coming up tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, the Trump administration is pushing back on reports of a split between President Trump and one of his top health advisors as the president prepares to announce another team of experts to look at when many Americans will be able to get back to work. We'll be sure to bring you the latest tonight at 10.
Good news for people looking for something other than Easter candy to snack on. Why would anyone want to do that? But hey, here's a good replacement. It's National Peach Cobbler Day. The dessert came by accident. Settlers in the 19th century weren't able to make traditional suet puddings because they didn't have the right equipment or ingredients. So they covered a stewed filling with uncooked dumplings or biscuits. When the dessert is cooked, the topping looks like a cobbled street. The largest peach cobbler in history was made appropriately enough at the 2007 Georgia Peach Festival. It took 90 pounds of butter, 32 gallons of milk, and 75 gallons of peaches to create. And I love peach cobbler so much I think I probably could consume that in one sitting.
90 pounds of butter. I can't get away from that. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.